Hey everybody, it's noon time, it's lunchtime, it's Tony. How are you? Thanks for coming over today. It's Friday. It's not raining, but it probably will be later. And if it wasn't raining, we might be outside making this because I'm going to make something really quick and easy and fresh and delicious that we all love here. So we're doing herb stuffed chicken breasts with a stack of roasted vegetables and zoodles. An alternative to noodles, because Jen and I and the kids are going away on vacation next week. In a week, we will be on the beach, so you might get 20 Makes Lunch live from vacation next Friday. So we're keeping it light and fresh and easy on the tummy because we have to look good in bathing suits in less than 4 days. So we're going to get started. If you tune in late, ask some questions. If you're watching this afterwards, ask some questions. I'll respond back. We're going to start with roasting vegetables, which I normally do on the grill outside, but it's April, but it's still not grilling weather yet. So we've got an eggplant, we've got a couple of nice portobello mushrooms, get them at the grocery store. We've got some asparagus because it's asparagus season and we love asparagus. So I'm going to get this going first because I want these vegetables to be nice and cooked down. I'm going to make real big slices of eggplant. I want to keep these meaty. I'll do 4. I probably won't need all 4, but I'm going to cut 4. An eggplant needs seasoning. It's pretty blah without it, so we're going to make a little vinaigrette to spread on top of that. Portobello mushrooms, we just take the stems off. We're going to keep them whole. We're going to put those. This is a parchment lined baking sheet. Get some parchment paper at the grocery store. It keeps things from sticking. I like it just because it's easy to clean up. You just throw the parchment away and then you don't have to scrub the baking sheet. Asparagus, I just take off the woody ends. Gonna give them a rinse. Now I make a lot of grilled asparagus and everybody asks me what the big secret is because it always comes so good. And here it is, olive oil and salt. And that's it. All it ever needs, in a hot oven or a hot grill. But for the eggplant and the mushrooms, I want to do something a little different. So I'm going to take a little salt and a little pepper. And a little olive oil. And then in here, okay, so you ever have a party and everybody comes over and afterwards there's like a couple of like quarter bottles of wine and the corks are all missing and you don't know what to do? Get yourself a big ball jar. Pour your leftover wine in it. Add, if you can find, and you can find it anywhere now, organic like apple cider vinegar that's cloudy on the bottom. It's got that kind of weird looking stuff floating around. That's called the mother. It's the vinegar mother.
Is that isn't Bragg's?
Bragg's has it. So if you can find Bragg's, use Bragg's. You pour some of that in, and you let this sit. This has been sitting for over a year, and it's our very own wine vinegar. It turns your leftover wine into vinegar. Tastes really good. Tastes better than the stuff you get at the grocery store, I think. And it's, we usually drink the leftover wine.
I was going to say,
we don't feel like drinking the leftover wine.
Do people usually have leftover wine?
I know there are certain friends out there who are thinking, leftover wine, what's that? But
Danielle Christina's on the phone. I know she doesn't usually have leftover wine.
No. So look, this is just like a little quick, simple vinaigrette. It's not hard. And we're just going to put that on top of the eggplant, and we're going to put it on top of the portobellos, and then we're going to throw everything in the oven, and we're going to flip them and do the same thing on the other side. Just because these need to have a little flavor. Vinaigrette. And if I was doing it on the grill, I would do exactly the same thing. Danielle, you're right down the street. You should come over because I have plenty.
She should come over. Christy McCormick.
Hey, Christy, in New York. All right, so these are vinaigretted up. Mushrooms are like little sponges. They will take whatever you put on them and just soak it up.
What is that brush you're using? It's like a silicone?
No, it's a little silicone basting brush that somebody got me for Christmas. It was in one of my Christmas stockings. All right, so this is a really hot, like 500-degree oven. And we're going to let those set. So for the chicken, we're going to make a little herb stuffing. This
Your garlic trick.
It's my garlic trick. We're using a lot of garlic today. Don't get scared. We're going to keep the vampires away. But there's 6 cloves, which is probably maybe a little too much, but whatever. There's never too much. So this chicken reminds me of my dad and summers at my Uncle Chuck's house out by the pool. So they used to, would start with sausage and peppers on the grill, and then my dad would make chicken with mojo, which was garlic and lemon and parsley all smashed up in a mortar and pestle. And we would drive our grill over to be next to Uncle Chuck's grill, and I don't know, we'd probably cook like 10 or 20 chickens. And parsley, we'll get to that in a second, is a really underestimated herb, I think. Like, just sits in the grocery store, but to me, it just tastes of summer. So this is 6 cloves of garlic getting chopped. And we're gonna chop some more stuff on top. So, lots of garlic, right? And then you could do this in a food processor, but it would probably get too mushy. I don't want this to be like pesto. I want it to be a little grainy. Parsley, fresh parsley from the grocery store. Smells like summer. You could take off each individual stem and like pull the leaves off, or you could just run your knife over it like this. And the leaves come off. And if you find a big stem stuck in there, you just snap it. But we're going to chop this all really fine, so it's not really going to matter. Put that in there. And then you just gather all the parsley on top of the garlic into a big ball. And you just chop away. And for you people who are afraid, just keep your fingers out of the way.
I was going to say, please don't cut your hand off. And you do it right in with the garlic.
Right in with the garlic. Together. This is also, so here's another trick, right? I also do this in the summer times too. So we'll cook, whether it's lamb or steak or chicken. Eat chicken is great. And I make what's called board dressing, right? So imagine you're out at the grill and you got a nice big hunk of something on the grill and it's cooking away. Take your cutting board and you do this very thing. Garlic and parsley and then a little salt and pepper on top, right? And maybe a little splash of olive oil. And you take the hot piece of whatever just came off the grill and you sit it on top. And the heat kind of cooks down the herbs and the garlic and everything, and the juice from whatever piece of meat mixes with it. And then after you cut it up, you just scrape a little on top, and it's really the most delicious thing you've ever had. So that's our little herb. It's like almost like a gremolata. If I had a lemon, which I forgot to pick up at the grocery store, I'd put a little lemon in here too, but I don't. But I want to keep it kind of chunky, and then we're going to get to the chicken.
Let's look at it. There it is.
These are chicken breasts, right? Right out of the grocery store. So very sharp knife. Chicken's got a fat side, like chicken breast, got that little cut. That's where the wishbone usually goes. This is the keel bone, the side that goes down by the ribs. So this is a little thicker side. So I'm going to make a little pocket with a really sharp knife.
And again, don't cut your hand.
If you keep your hand on top and if you keep the knife level, you shouldn't have any problems. But look, it opens like an envelope. I'm going to do it again so you can see it. This is the fat side. Right through. Just go gently.
It's easy for you. It's not easy for
It's not. Well, you know what? It's just. It wasn't easy for me when I first did it. It's just practice.
Yeah.
And not being afraid.
They're like little boats.
Like little chicken boats. And then the same thing, right? So we season. Everything gets seasoned. Salt and pepper. And then we take our little, take our little herb stuffing and we just fill up the insides a little bit, right? Really simple. If we weren't going to the beach in a week, you could stick a little piece of cheese in here if you wanted. A little goat cheese would be good. A little fresh mozz would be good. That's it. And then we got a pan over on the stove that's already hot. We're putting in some olive oil.
Yes.
We're going to bring these guys over. We're just going to get a little salt on top of each on the outsides.
So more salt. Salt on the inside.
Salt on the outside. Don't be afraid to season your food. It tastes good that way. Mom.
Who is not on right now, but I'm sure she'll be watching it.
She'll watch it later and she'll appreciate that comment. So in the back here, I must have shut it off. So the chicken's going. We're just going to let that get hot, kind of brown a little bit on both sides. Then we're going to stick it into the oven with those vegetables while they keep roasting. We're going to save all this because I want it later. So just scrape that over. and then we're going to get to the zoodles. So zoodles, like now you can buy them in the grocery store. So you take a zucchini that costs 99 cents a pound, and they turn it into zoodles for you, and they charge you $4.99 a pound, which is ridiculous. Just buy zucchini, or grow them in the summer, because they grow like weeds. So you just take the ends off. Then you can go out and buy yourself a spiralizer, which I want, but I don't have. Or like my little silicone brush, this wound up in my Christmas stocking. So one side's really thin and one side's really thick. And you stick a zucchini in, and you spin it around, and presto changeo, your zucchini becomes zucchini noodles.
And they've got those everywhere now. I think I got that for you at like TJ Maxx.
Probably got it. You get everything at TJ Maxx.
It's the only place I have time to go.
Exactly. Right? And so, you know, one zucchini, that was a relatively small zucchini, turns into a big bunch of zoodles. Watch out, it's sharp on the inside. Then we do a yellow. That chicken is, you can hear the chicken. It's browning up nicely. The crazy thing about these is that they get really long, so they turn into this extremely long spaghetti. But we've snuck these zoodles into like ramen for the kids at night. And just to, you know, any way to sneak in more vegetables is always a good thing. And we just eat a lot of vegetables here because they're, one, delicious, and two, it just, you know, fills you up. Fills you up without a lot of calories, right?
Marnie Baggett made the very good point that you did not wash your hands after touching the chicken, and then...
Oh, I didn't? I thought I did. We're a little crazy here today, Marnie, so I'll go wash them, but here, we're just flipping the chicken over. Putting a little bit of color on it.
And Christy is wondering, I'm going to move this. Christy's wondering why parchment paper?
Why parchment paper?
For the vegetables.
Because they won't stick to the bottom of your pan, and I don't like to scrub. My first job in a restaurant was as a dishwasher and a pot washer, and scrubbing roasted vegetables off the bottom of a roasting pan is probably my least favorite thing that I've ever done. I'm going to do one more of these while the chicken keeps going. Because this, once that chicken goes in the oven, this is all going to come together in about 5 minutes. So one more zoodle.
And thankfully, we will be boiling the zoodles after the chicken hands were used.
That's true. Everything gets cooked. I washed my chicken hands, by the way, so sorry about that, Marnie. I don't have a producer on site to remind me of these things, and we can't cut because it's live, right? So these will be snacks for us later.
It's a good PSA, though, for those who are watching.
Don't forget to wash your hands after you touch raw chicken. I was actually thinking of that earlier when I was starting to set things up. So there's the chicken. It's full of herbs. It's yummy. It's delicious.
Yum.
And I'm going to stick it in the oven, but before I do, on the deli or olive bar at the grocery store, you can often find these are really delicious. They look great, but I just grab it. They're artichoke hearts, roasted, and a little bit marinated. Right, so I'm just throwing those in, and I'm going to throw this whole thing in this really hot oven. And I'm going to pull these out for a second and just check them. So these are the roasted vegetables we started before, right? As I flip those over, yes, Ken Carlson, I will get one of these days I'll have a pot holder. I can just flip those over.
Yummy.
Right, I'm going to...
Need to add anything else when you flip them, or?
No, I'm going to take that vinaigrette. Just going to give them just a little dab more. I just want to keep them moist.
Can you just remind folks of the ingredients in the vinaigrette?
So that's just salt, pepper, olive oil, and a little bit of red wine vinegar that I made myself. Homemade red wine vinegar.
And if you weren't on for the beginning, rewatch, because Tony gave a really good tip about using leftover wine to make vinegar.
Right. So on the back here is just a pot of boiling water. We'll let that go for a second, but we're going to make we're going to get ready for our zoodles. So this is aglio olio. Otherwise, if you go to a restaurant and you see it on a menu, it looks like aglio e olio. But all it means is garlic and olive oil. This was a staple in our house on like busy nights. So it's just spaghetti with olive oil and garlic in it. But I'm going to do it a little bit different. So, you know what these are?
No.
They're anchovies. Please don't be afraid of anchovies. Like fish sauce, anchovies are just little flavor bombs, right? I know most people think anchovies are gross. I think anchovies are delicious, and in this, they're just going to melt away, so you're not going to get big chunks of anchovies.
It's not like eating them on a pizza or something.
Not like eating them. I love anchovies on pizza, to tell you the truth.
Blech.
I love anchovies. Look, I will prove it to you. They're so good.
Oh, Lord. No.
You just eat them like that. They're just salty and delicious. If you're a salt freak like I am. So look, anchovies. There's not putting many, just 2, but they're a little sticky in the jar. 2 or 3. 1, 2. Extra. I like them so much. I'm going to let those cook. And as they cook, they're going to break down into nothing.
Archie's waiting for you to drop things again.
And then olives.
Right, Archie? Archie's
Oh, I know what I'm grabbing.
give me some food.
So we got olives and anchovies. Then over here I got a fresh tomato. Again, if this was summer, I'd do this on the grill and the tomato would be out of the garden. It would be absolutely ridiculous. But it's not summer, so tomatoes look good at the grocery store. So I'm going to take the bottom off. These 2 big slices I'm going to save for our stacks, for our chicken. This one I'm just going to chop up. I don't even care about the core. It's going to cook. And these are, you know, hothouse, whatever, conventional tomatoes. Oops. Slippery little sucker. Nothing big, just a rough chop on the tomatoes. We're going back to the anchovies. Now come over here. Bring the camera. And you get a spoon. So look. See where the anchovy was? Now the anchovy is all mashed up. It just falls apart in the hot oil. That's why you don't get a big chunk of anchovies. But what you get is all this flavor. You go, ooh, what's that? Guess what? It's anchovies. It's salty. It's delicious. This is hot pepper. Since we don't have Linda Cohn with us, I can put 2 dabs in.
Put 2 in, and that's just like a Costco size.
Costco size thing of red pepper.
Fresh red pepper.
And then these are capers. So I want a little hit. I want more salt, right? Zoodles are not going to be very salty. While you're looking at that, I'm just going to come back and check the veggies and the chicken real quick.
Who's coming over? Danielle, you coming over?
Alright, so on the veggie tray, what I'm going to do real fast, like this is almost done. I'm going to put the tomatoes on and add a little bit of salt. And I'm going to put them back in the oven just for a minute. I just want the tomatoes to get warm. The chicken's almost done. So let's make zoodles. And I'm sweating. So, boiling water, salt, a little more salt, like the ocean.
I tend to under-season my water, I think, right? You wanna go on the high side in terms of salt?
Those really don't have to cook long, just like 30 seconds.
I always get nervous it's going to be too salty.
It's not, because the water is going to drain away, and they're just going to pick up a little salt as they go along.
Danielle says she wants to come over, but she's scared of the anchovies.
See, look, and then I just want these to soften a little bit. Yes, it's boiling water, and those are my raw fingers, but I'm going to mush the olives down a little bit now that they've cooked. So I don't want too many chunks. And then I'm going to come back and get all those tomatoes that we cut before, that little half a tomato. And we're going to throw that guy in. Alright, this could be dinner. Use it in for 30 seconds. Just to soften.
And our kids will eat these too.
Yeah, like I said,
The zoodles.
we put them in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And you don't have to do them with zucchini. You can do them with other things, right?
Yeah, you use sweet potato, carrot. You give all that a toss.
And stirring is okay if you don't know how to do that. Right?
Yeah, stirring is okay.
Because I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd throw it all.
It makes a little bit of a mess, but I don't care.
I'd throw it all over my shoulder,
I'm
probably.
going to leave that in the back. I'm going to shut that down.
Okay.
The chicken, everything else is done. We're going to assemble. Oh, I forgot to put the pull-out plates. We're going to put the chicken on here. test it with my finger. It's ready. Because it was small to begin with, and we cut a hole in it, so it went even faster.
Okay.
And these are the roasted veggies.
Got the veggies.
Right? That is now hot. These are the little artichokes. We'll take some more of this lovely parsley and garlic and put it right into the zoodles. I'm really going to cook it. I'm just going to give it a little bit of flavor. You keep watching this for a second.
Okay.
Like I said, we're a little crazy today. I've got to get plates.
We forgot to get plates. Let's go in the dining room to get plates. That looks good. Here's our zoodles. I love that the tomatoes are kind of fresh and uncooked in there. Just give it a little lightness.
Right.
Patrick would have something to say about the texture.
Patrick would have something definitely to say about the texture. So we take a little bit of zoodles. Alright, a little bit of
let's watch
zucchini
this.
noodles. Oops, drippy messy. Put that in the middle. You don't need a ton. There will be leftovers.
Put those tomatoes in there.
I'm going to take a little spoon, put a little tomato, make sure you get some tomatoes and some olives, and some capers like that, anchovy in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is a messy plate. I'm going to wipe it off. Then we pick our roasted vegetables. Just do one each, right?
Yep.
Start with a
Eggplant.
eggplant, and then a tomato.
And I'll just come in and say I did not love eggplant when we first were together, but
Now look.
I think the seasoning is the key there.
I know it's Friday and it's
I know.
Lent, okay? And some people would prefer not to eat chicken. This would be a perfect vegetarian lunch right here, right? Some roasted asparagus on the side, eggplant, tomato. But I went to spin at 5:30 this morning. Thank you, Becky. Jen went to taught spin until just a little while ago, so she needs some protein. I said we were going to stack them up. We're going to do a couple little artichokes around the outside, like that. Maybe a little one on top.
Yummers. Check that out. That's like a lot of healthy goodness right there.
And there you go. Herb stuffed chicken stacks. Done in just 20-something minutes.
Looks good. What are you going to do with that extra parsley and garlic sitting there?
I'm going to do a little bit of this. A little of this. I would throw some over my shoulder, but that would make a mess. Archie looks like he's ready to eat. I'm ready to eat.
Archie's ready. He's hungry.
We both have conference calls at 1 o'clock, so we're going to sit down and eat lunch. Thanks for tuning in. It's another Tony Makes Lunch Friday. Try it out.
Thanks, guys.
You'll
We'll see you
love
next
it.
Friday.